YouTube, welcome to the top 8 grand finale and top deck list. We are starting off this video with Heroes. Heroes against Tier 1, currently best deck. Blue Eyes White Dragon is here. Jaden versus Kaiba. By watching as long as you can, that greatly supports these videos. I appreciate that immensely. Let's go.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Hero lives, getting negated by Ash Blossom. This generally summons a Stratos. Now, this Stratos will be taking up our normal summon. If we had an additional copy of Hero Lives, it would be activatable while we have no monster in the field after Ash negates it, as we are searching for our Ferris. This is where things become a bit more complicated. We cannot tribute off the DPE unless the DPE activates preemptively. Now, you may be thinking, why would he do that? He wants to do that because popping the Wake Up Your Elemental Hero searches for the Mist, which searches for the Mash Change, which is a Macrocosmos against Blue Eyes White Dragon to win the duel. But we could do it in the end phase. If we end phase that, summon Mist, search Mash Change, use it in the end phase, then we play around Nibiru. But I've seen a lot of players not do that. Okay, we're not doing that. We're gonna be waiting for the end phase. We're not gonna be using it in the main phase. Very good, we did the correct play. Waiting for Nibiru as we were going to end phase pop the Wake Up Your Elemental Hero. Tribute off the field, trigger the Wake Up, summon the Mist, and now we could just set it into the back row, not be forced to activate it right away while we also have a DPE. Nibiru famously would absolutely crush hero decks, but no more. Mist grabbing the Mash Change, set the Mash Change, and this Nibiru is now blocking our Kashtira engine. We can't summon Unicorn, we can't summon Fenrir because of our own Nibiru. But what the Nibiru is helping with, it's keeping the Dark Law at bay. Or is it? It's at 400 attack, so not really. Okay, so what's interesting here is by summoning DP in attack position, it gave them the opportunity to get rid of their own Nibiru to then go into the Kashtira engine in main phase 2. Probably best that we would have just kept this into defense instead. Now we're also using Favorite Contact to protect our Shadow Mist. Well, I mean, I just want to get Nibiru off the field. So you doing all this for my Nibiru? I don't know. That did not seem like a good trade. A Nibiru we didn't want on the field dealt with 2 disruptions, a DPE non-target pop, and an additional 2-card non-target pop when we want to pop a True Light, and now we don't have a way to do so. Pressure Planet. Chaining the Mash Change to go into the Dark Law. Now, why now? By adding a Kashtira, it will trigger the Dark Law to randomly banish a card from the hand here. As we randomly banish, this first Mist is going to be delaying the banish. We're going to be searching our deck. Come to us, Stratos, as we randomly banish the Blue Eyes White Dragon. 1 of 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons down. Now Roar could summon it from the banish pile back on the field. We're going to grab a Unicorn as the Fenrir turns into a Typhon. I've continually seen Typhon be the out for Dark Law. Keeps on happening. Gets rid of the Dark Law. Now we don't have to worry about our cards being banished instead of being sent to the grave. Going to grab an Ultimate Fusion plus a Maiden of White. Maiden of White is going to be setting up the True Light. True Light's going to give us a Roar. No. Okay, we're going to use the Mausoleum to gain access to the Blue Eyes White Dragon to then reborn it with the True Light during the opponent's turn. So what do we have here? Yeah, because of the Mausoleum, I do believe that this was better, because otherwise the Roar, the Roar plus Maiden could have turned into a disruption. I think it was either or. We're pretty good here. But in this instance, what we now have is the Ultimate Fusion will be able to non-target pop a card in the field that's face up. But doesn't this not get destroyed by card effect? Cannot be destroyed by card effects. Okay, well, if the Ultimate Fusion does not pop it, what about the Majesty? Majesty also non-target pops a card in the field, but it can be face down or face up. Still cannot be destroyed. So this completely counters both of our forms of disruption. And the Typhon does not negate it from being protected from destruction. We have Maiden triggering to reborn itself onto the field. These 2 fingers are for 2 forms of disruption. We have DPE for non-target pop a card on the field. also reducing their attack to a pathetic less than 1,000. We have Infernal Rage. Triggering the Liquid Soldier to draw 2, then discard as the Infernal Rage searches for a favorite card from our deck or grave. Grab back the favorite contact. Draw 2, get rid of the Dead Hero Live, Stratos on summon. Ooh, that's a non-target pop 1, 2, 3 cards on the field. Oh my Jesus. We're gonna Majesty. Only pop 1 card in response to the Stratos. So what do? We try to pop the DPE. DPE is going to pop anyway. DPE can pop the Stratos. It's not needed for popping back row cards. It doesn't give us any additional. We can pop our own card that can't get popped, by the way, even better, since it's not just the opponent can't pop it. We can't pop our own card. And say goodbye to True Light. Wiping away the entire field. Over 11,000 damage. Our hero's the answer to Blue Eyes because we have searchable Darklaw. Darklaw hard counters the deck. That's the way. Begin. Well, we're going to be happy knowing that the opponent has no hand trap disruption whatsoever. So let's see what's good. Grabbing our second copy of the Unicorn. We got Lordy Load into our barrel. If we had a finger, we can't finger anything because we can't banish cards from the opponent's graveyard. This also has the effect to negate an activated card on the field. And since it does not destroy, it's ideal we negate a spell or trap, otherwise the monster would remain on the field. So we have a negate, plus we have negate a monster effect, no matter where it is, the Cipher Divine, plus destroy a card on the field, non-targeting. That could be up to 2 disruption. I'll just count it as 1 though. The Majesty is going to be able to pop 2 cards on the field, non-targeting. Drill Beam is going to be able to negate and banish any card on the field, not activatable until we True Light Reborn a Blue Eyes White Dragon though. And then we have an Effect Veiler negate a monster on the field. That is 5 forms of disruption plus being able to recycle the Drill Beam. Good luck. Foolish, send from the deck, missed. Missed on send, triggering to grab a Ferris from the deck here. Ferris is not going to be committing toward normal summon, getting rid of our Plasma to come forth in special. We're going to Veil or negate, not using the Cipher Divine Mate. We're going to chain Mash Change, which I expect the ultimate spirit will be used here, of course. Negate the Mash Change. So now down to triple disruption left. We have Cipher, negate a monster, pop multiple cards of Majesty, or negate and banish anything with Drill Beam. We're going to Liquid Soldier on summon, Reborn the Mist. Mist already activated its effect, so it cannot search again. And we're going to be using Cipher Divine to not only negate, but destroy any card on the field, as the True Light is setting up the Drill Beam to now be activatable. Negate and destroy. Drill Beam plus Majesty is left. Maiden, trigger, Reborn. This play was not fingerable. Maiden on the attack declaration or being targeted by a card effect will Reborn a Blue Eyes or a level 1 tuner. It's also protected from being battled, destroyed, or card effect destroyed. Non-target, destroyed 2 cards during the end phase, and it's just a complete blowout. Like it or not, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Today, if a deck goes first and you don't have a hand trap and you don't have a board breaker, we're talking cards that are not a part of your core engine of your deck type, White Lightning for game, that you just lose. Are you okay with that? Or is it just you got unlucky or you did not build your deck correctly? Which is it? Speaking of the bug, we got 2 of them in our hand, and the opponent also has one. There's bugs freaking everywhere, mate. Veil or negate the Stratos, and wow, did we get blown the F out. That's it for us. And our turn. Do not draw a way to negate the Maxi, but even if you draw a way to negate the Maxi, we don't really have great plays in our hand here. We have the Kashtira engine, the Drill Beam is dead. Whoop, Veiler, hey, that's not that great. Maxi, we have a grind game. This is essentially some boomer Yu-Gi-Oh! Going on here. We're gonna grab a Unicorn, but with the Birth, we're ideally not going to be getting Unicorn engraved and then reborn it, especially within this turn. On the attack, though, we're gonna grind away at your extra deck, cutting off many key plays. How many Dark Laws do you have in the extra deck? We have 2 Dark Laws. Otherwise, we maybe would have went for that on the banish. Instead, we did get rid of the Infernal Rage. We are going to Hero Lives into a Stratos into another Veiler or Imperm negate, but this time we have a Mash Change mate, but then we could activate another Impermanence to negate. Negate the Stratos, and then on the Resolution, you will be able to have the Bubble Man, right? What the heck is it called? The thing that reduces by half? Blast, not Blast, Bubble Blast, but regular Blast. This on Special Summon will reduce the Unicorn by half, and then you can pay 500 life to target a spell or trap card the opponent controls, returning it to the hand, which could be quite good against something like a True Light. But in this instance, we're going to spin back the Birth, stopping its effect from banishing 3 cards from our grave face down. Begone. And reduce the Unicorn. Normal summon the Increase into a Wonder Driver. We're going to Miracle Fuse using the graveyard, fusing right behind our Wonder Driver, triggering the effect to recycle the in-grave Miracle Fusion back in the field, further going into a Verte Anaconda, banned in the TCG. We do not care. Miracle Fuse, 4 materials engraved for the Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, 3,700 attack. Anaconda, send from the deck, Fusion Destiny. We cannot special summon for the rest of the turn. Come forth and summon Dystopia, targeting Denier, burning for 1,100 damage. Is this game 2,400 to the face, activate, burning for 2,500. Not its reduced attack, 28 for game. And just like that, Jaden defeats Kaiba. Wow. It didn't even burn for its reduced attack, burned for its original attack. That is crazy. Begin. We have our Maiden of White play, setting up True Light from the hand. That is far from ideal, unfortunately. Setting up the Wishes. Discard the Blue Eyes White Dragon from our hand. Come to us, Roar and Sage. We are going to, on Summon Sage, search for a Veiler for a form of disruption. We're going to Fool Loss before the Spirit Link 1 is played. Now, the Roar is not activated under Fool Loss. I guess because we don't plan on synchroing, but do note that this could summon from the grave and Fool Loss will not draw. And I'm just telling the audience here, I'm not telling the player this. And then Maiden could trigger in grave, which again, Fool Loss will not draw. So you could get 2 bodies on the field, but then you'd have to think, is it worth it to go into a Spirit Dragon where they will draw 1 additional card? But if we don't go for that, otherwise we keep it in the hand for the next turn. We have Veiler to negate a monster. We have Majesty to pop 1 card in the field non-targeting. And we have Purge to negate a search. And that great search card is the Wishes. So ideally, we want to bait the Purge with the load first. Load may get Majesty though. Load, Majesty, pop, MST does in fact negate. Pop the load, mate. You're out of here. 2 disruption left. Sage on summon. We're gonna Purge the Sage. You can't Veiler Wishes. Now, because the Purge had the additional effect of destroying while having a trap in the graveyard, I think that is more so the reason why we wanted to do that. It ensures if they didn't hard open up the Mausoleum, they're just not gonna get a body on the field. Now, off of the Wishes, what we're gonna have to do here is get to our Maiden. Roar and Maiden is here. Veiler is really in a bad spot. We don't have a good not Maiden, but Veiler. Veiler is not going to have a good use. Reborn the Maiden off the Blue Eyes. Wishes equip onto the Blue Eyes. And even if you try to Veiler this at the end of the main phase to stop it from recycling the Majesty, the Neo ultimate will just negate. Recycle the Majesty mate. Boy, it's so... Veiler is normally so good against Blue Eyes. It's just crazy to see it be bad for this duel. Or you could argue that we shouldn't have Purged. Should have maybe Veilered instead and then Purged the Wishes. I think it was a bit greedy to negate and destroy the Sage, possibly just save the Veiler for the Spirit Link 1 instead, to then Purge a potential Wishes. We are going to Majesty get poppin'. Right here, right now. Why was this a pivotal moment? Why now? Well, the Tyrant Dragon has the additional effect of being unaffected by trap cards, so if you waited for the Tyrant, the True Light would not destroy the Tyrant Dragon. This was the moment. Veiler into Spirit with Eyes of Blue. In grave, we already have a Blue Eyes White Dragon. The Mausoleum can allow an additional summon of nothing. Spirit activates, Reborn. Now, if the Roar was already in the grave from a previous turn, it would have had the effect of being able to perform a fusion summon. We could discard it with Wishes, though. Spirit Dragon negating Maiden, that is definitely a problem, as the Spirit Dragon now turns into an Ultimate Spirit Dragon to further negate any potential card you'd want to be activating. We're going to boost up our Blue Eyes White Dragon, still not big enough to attack over the Ultimate Spirit, but Ultimate Spirit cannot negate Typhon, as the Typhon's preventing it from activating, but it's going to be destroyed during the end phase anyway through the Spirit Dragon effect during the end phase, so we decided to take out the Tyrant Dragon instead to stop them from further recycling whatever trap they want from engrave. Goodbye to the Ultimate Spirit. Now, the Ultimate Spirit does have the effect when destroyed to reborn a Spirit Dragon, but the Typhon did negate it from activating. Didn't negate, just prevented the activate. Come forth, Spirit Dragon. We're going to reborn our Blue Eyes White Dragon within the battle phase, take out that Typhon, and then Spirit Dragon for game. This is not a DQ. You did not deny them from doing a White Lightning for game, as they needed the Blue Eyes to attack over the Typhon. I will allow it. Let's go. What? Imperm called by... Wow. We brickin'. Lordy load on the activation to search for what? Generally, you'd want to search for a barrel, right? Well, I already had that barrel. So that was a bait, as the barrel mate will now set from the deck a Drill Beam. Negate. No Drill Beam for you. Now, unfortunately, we still got lots of plays. We have Spirit Link 1, Mausoleum, additional summon the Sage. We have Call to the Grave, which can negate the Spirit Link from reborning a Blue Eyes White Dragon at least, or we could save the Call to the Grave for the Maiden, or we could try to finger the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Let's see what we plan on doing. We are just going to finger the Maiden on its activation to even try to set up the True Light, which I will agree with being the best form of disruption. That was the way. Yes, indeed. Now, let's Mausoleum, send the Blue Eyes, reborn the Blue Eyes. We still have lots of disruption. We have the Magna Hut, banishing away that Blue Eyes White Dragon. No Blue Eye summon for you, but we still have the Lordy Load because this card is nuts. We're going to Ash negate the Magna Hut from searching for a barrel within the end phase. We do want to keep them bricked. If they bricked turn 1, don't help them unbrick with a Magna Hut. That was a great Ash Blossom negate. Let's now go into the Spirit Dragon. What I'm really liking about the Blue Eyes Mirror match is what has been a rare skill in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is thinking beyond the first 2 turns. Actually having good negates on Magna Hut, that's unheard of. Why would you want to negate something in the end phase? That's so far away. Next turn doesn't matter. Only the now matters. We have to win the grind game. Outgrind your opponent. Max C, you what, mate? Typhon is seeing so much action today, it's insane. Typhon is going to attempt to spin back the Spirit Dragon. We have the Veiler negating the Typhon, not having to use the impermanence. And what really wins the duel here is the Barrel Engrave plus a Blue Eyes. That's it. This recycling every turn is what you want to force every opposing player into that game state of them having to witness just over and over and over. Drill Beam recycle, Barrel recycle. No one could keep up. Let's activate load, summon from the deck, chain the Max C. We drawn off that summon, and now anything special summoned is not going to be activatable for the rest of this turn. Drill Beam, Banish, away the Typhon. Drill Beam recycle, because why not? Just get use out of it. Was that a good banish? No, but if the Drill Beam can reset itself and we haven't used that effect yet and we're not discarding with the wishes, just banish something. Ogre is here, late to the duel here, but we do have our barrel, but Drill Beam will negate that barrel because we have so much information on your hand being bad. Negate, banish, no normal summon, no Mausoleum search, no additional summon if you had a Sage in hand. And just like that, YD Sniper with the Game 2 victory. White Lightning. Very nice. Very nice. I have to say, I have been overall unimpressed with Nibiru today. I've been liking Ogre a lot, though. Ogre's been great. Nibiru, not so much. Begin. And how do you recycle Drill Beam if it's banished? How do you recycle Barrel if it's banished? Come forth into Infernal Rage, triggering the Shadow Mist, channeling block in the Infernal Rage from the Ash Blossom negate as we search for a Ferris mate. I think the channeling block order was wrong. And that maybe would have been a good negate there, actually. Now, Ferris discarding the increase, activating to equip the increase. Increase effect to summon a Vian. This is an Ash. Straight up. If you don't Ash this, I'd go nuts. There you go. Well done on that Ash negate. Negate. Ashing the Mist is a high roll play, where it is a big risk but high reward. Come forth into the Wonder Driver. We're going to Nibiru early. I'm not waiting for this nonsense of you setting up a DPE and the wake up your elemental hero. No, no, no. We're going to Miracle Fuse, using the Graveyard to still go into the wake up your elemental hero, but the Mist already activated its effect this turn of being able to search, so it cannot search for a mass change. What? Wait, what? What? I was gonna what? Wait, the favorite. That was a legitimate disconnect. We drew in a Barrel, and we had Wishes plus Barrel. We had two big plays. Barrel alone is nuts, and if that were to fall through, Wishes is the follow-up. Begin. MTG Arena reconnects you. Yeah, it is a basic good function of a game that there's no good reason, I don't care if it's technical or not, on why Konami doesn't have it. Ashing a Spirit Link is a choice. That is something. The Wishes, I believe, is way better if they're going to be opening up Sage as their opener. And we are, in fact, going to get hard punished for that. You get punished for that if they have the Maiden or a Wishes already in the hand. And I mean, Maiden is in the hand because we allowed the Sage to search it. So what are we cutting off here by stopping the Spirit when they're guaranteed to have Wishes? It's not like we randomly were punished. We were guaranteed to get punished off of that play. Maiden is going to be setting up the True Lanes. The back row, Roar, come forth and summon. Max C in response to the Roar, Ash Blossom, negate. Now, the problem with a card like Droplet and Dark Ruler No More is that it's actually quite good against a deck like Snake Eye, Fiendsmith, where the bulk of their disruptions is on the field. But with Blue Eyes, they're searching Veiler, they're searching or setting back row cards. It's definitely not as effective. Come forth, Blue Eyes, White Dragon here, and if we're going for a Hieratic Seal play to bridge our way into the Primate cards, which it looks like at the moment we're not doing so, we have Majesty, just like that, then the Droplet is not that big of a deal because we can go into the Magna Hut, search for Barrel, and then start winning from there. Now, what are our forms of disruption? You have to remember that the Neo Ultimate is protecting both of our Blue Eyes cards. Even the Ultimate, that would be someone from being targeted by card effects, but the Droplet and the Dark Ruler do not target. Now, if we Dark Ruler No More, completely negate the field, which is one form of disruption, we still have a Veiler. We still have Majesty. Pop a card on the field. Now, we didn't have to go into Hieratic Seal for the Magna Hut play to connect into the Primite because we already have Magna Hut. So it worked out. I don't even know what this hand is. What? Blaze Man searches for polymerization, and then what? I think in the show you could polymerize your opponent's field or something. Negate the field. Veiler, negate the Blaze Man from searching for a polymerization that we can't even use. This is fair. I DC'd game one. You deserve to have a bad hand for game two. Yup, we're gonna clap that up. We don't even care. Ideally, we randomly pop with Majesty. It's not even random now. It's now guaranteed. Revealed 2, pop 2, searching for the Blue Eyes over the Primate was the correct play to ensure that we could wipe away both back row cards here. And just like that, just shift everything into attack. And no, come on. I guess, sure, just summon that. Oh my Jesus, come, okay, thank you. 13,000 damage, let's do it. I know you DC'd, but like, White Lightning for game. Varus, discard increase. We have Ash for the effect of increase, summoning a Vian from the deck, but then we can normal summon the Vian from our hand. We did not Ash that for some reason, so we're saving it for something else. Maybe we've been Fusion Destinied from the hand so often that we choose to negate that. Negates Polymerization Search. That is not a hard once per turn. If we can get another Vian onto the field through maybe just normal summoning it, we could still search for the Polymerization, or we could just have a Polymerization in hand. Vian is going to be banishing for that second Polymerization search. We're now going to, this is through a Nibiru and an Ash. Did we end on any floodgates? No skill drain, no macrocosmos, so it's much less effective. So it does look like the Ash and Nibiru did impact the ending board a little bit, but beyond that, we still have the ability to pop up to 2 cards on the field, non-targeting, and we have the DPE non-target pop a card, so this is double disruption. Let's see what's good. Purge is not going to be usable. If this were a Dominus Impulse, which can't exist in a Blue Eyes deck in most circumstances, of course, you would be able to negate the favorite contact. DPE, pop, and Lordy Load. MST does negate. Sage on summon, searching for the Veiler, as we're now going to Spirit with Eyes of Blue. I choose the Mausoleum. I don't think the favorite contact is going to be... Yes, it is, actually. I thought it wasn't, but it is. We do not want them to have access to a Blue Eyes, but they guaranteed have access to a Blue Eyes because Sage would search Maiden, and if they searched Veiler, then they already have Maiden, and Maiden could grab a True Light, which could grab a Wishes, which could grab a Roar, which could give us Blue Eyes. Okay. Wonder Driver, set into the back row, wipe up the field. This is pretty, like, we know this is in the hand. We know it. It's not random. It's not where did that come from. It's there. It was there. Wishes, discard Purge, grab the Roar, as I said. This is all nothing hidden here. This is like we're playing with our hand face up here. Come forth, Blue Eyes White Dragon, trigger the Maiden. Now, the Hero Shining cannot be destroyed by card effects, but can be destroyed by battle. Interesting. 2,500 defense, but it is reducing opposing monsters with a DPE effect. That is a small Tyrant Dragon. Now, what's cool about the Tyrant Dragon is it can recycle the Purge we didn't even use. We discarded the Purge, and now we can just add it back on the field. Just like that, Purge is back on the field. Nicely done. Tyrant recycling traps is incredible. Heavenly Sphere over the Spirit Dragon is a good way to gain access to the Primite engine. I agree with that every time. As we're going to spin a face-up card back, we're going to be negating with the Purge, the effect to search, and we have Veiler negate a monster. Triple disruption. Uh-oh, that thing is huge. The Wing Kariba level 6, I forgot what it does. I'm not rereading it until maybe later. We're going to go into the Infernal Rage. Rage on summon is going to add from the deck or grave, but we're going to Purge, negate. We're going to Veiler, negate the DPE mate, and then we have the Hieratic Seal as our only leftover disruption, which will lead into the Primite engine. And Tabri cannot allow heroes to get into the Primite engine and just start recycling the Drill Beam every turn. Come forth, the Decimator. With the Decimator, we're going to spin that Mad Lad back as it's giving them the ability to pierce our defense position monsters, which we would try to summon from the deck into defense, but the Ash negates. Now we can't summon the Magna Hut, as we then cannot go into the Primite engine, but it does not matter because True Light block the attack. It does matter. We are going to survive another turn. We are not done. We have only just begun, as we are going to be activating the Maiden on the attack. Come forth and summon another Blue Eyes White Dragon onto the field. Now, we maybe could have thought the Maiden only is activatable on the attack declaration. If it's targeted for a replay, it still gets the effect to summon. Do not learn that the hard way, which we possibly just did. We have increase in attack position, Ghost Ogre, but now the DPE is back to non-target pop a card in the field to deal with that True Light. True Light is activating in response to that DPE. Set from the deck, a Wishes. Wishes will grab a Sage, and this may not even be activatable. What can we search for? It searches for Roar. If we don't have Roar, it searches for Majesty. We still have Majesty in the deck, thankfully. That would have been a big issue. So we have Majesty plus our Sage. Do we still have Spirit Link 1? We still have Spirit Link. Good. On Summon, do we have True Light in the graveyard or is it banished? It's in the grave, so we are perfectly rebuilding. Rebuild the True Light, rebuild, get our Blue Eyes White Dragons on the field. That 6100 indestructible by card effect Neos Wingman is an issue though. Come forth, Blue Eyes, trigger the Maiden, Reborn, 0 disruption for Debris, and it's the dreaded Typhon again. Being able to non-target spin back, get that DPE out of here. We have a single form of disruption, which is the Majesty. Now, doesn't this do something? If we destroy Typhon, we inflict 2,900 damage to their life per game, and the Majesty cannot destroy it? Don't we just win? Oh no! Activate! Lethal damage! Yeah, but Wing Karibo was there, and it does something, I'm sure. Great. Trudea for our normal summon, setting up the Primera. Primera on summon, activating to search our deck for the field spell as the Ash negates. Now, the Banki unfortunately requires a Super Heavy Samurai to be on the field to search our deck, so it is straight up dead. We're going to wake up Centurion only while we have a monster in the back row, summon a token, made it a 4 to make the Primus. Primus will search our deck as the Purge negates the Primus. No trap engrave from an impermanent, so it does not destroy the Primus. Wake up Centurion, send from the deck a Centurion Phalanx, which will reborn the Primus if something were to happen to her. We have Lordy Load searching for our deck, holding on to our Ash. Barrel cannot be Ash, setting up the Drill Beam. Obviously not activatable the turn it's set. As we now link this off into the Spirit with Eyes of Blue to grab the Mausoleum to additional summon the Sage. I don't think so. No additional summon for you. Oh, we didn't save it for the Wishes. There now just can't be an additional Sage on field. What we could use that Sage for is for targeting your Maiden to then reborn the Sage back in the field as you summon a Blue Eyes in the deck. We're now going to just discard it instead of making that play, grabbing the Ultimate Fusion, which is a disruption if a Blue Eyes is on the field. Let's now, Lordy Load, get that Blue Eyes onto the field. End our turn. What are our forms of disrupt here? We can non-target pop a face-up card. We can non-target pop any card. And then we could Drill Beam, negate, and banish anything. We could Veil or negate a monster on the field. 4 forms of disruption. Trudea, summon from the back row. We're going to non-target pop that Trudea. I do not think so. If you had the Auxilia, the Trudea would not be destroyable. Primera is going to the battle phase, wipe out that Spirit with Eyes of Blue. And we are possibly going to Drill Beam just to then recycle it, reset it back onto the field. That's exactly what we're doing. Get the Primus out of here, summon the Barrel, reset it back onto the field as the Wishes is going to equip onto the Blue Eyes to recycle a trap from Engrave, come back to us Majesty or Purge. This is too much. Or just, how about we just win the duel? Yes? Come forth onto the field, perfect 8,000 damage. Now the Lordy Load is boosting up your monsters per normal in the graveyard, I believe. Normal and Primate monsters you control gain 300 for each normal monster. White Lightning for game. Damn. Begin. We are starting this off with a Motorbike, searching for our Wakashi. We unfortunately could not go into our Super Heavy Samurai plays in the previous duel. So Terramera's like, hail to the no. I don't think so. We out. That's all I needed to see. What? All right, what do we have here? We have our Sage opening play. We have Valor negate a monster, Purge negate a search. We have Imperm to negate a monster and allowing the Purge to then destroy a card that it negates, like the Benki. We then have double Spirit Dragon for double disruption, 5 disrupt. Let's go. Benki into, let's jump off of the Spirit Dragon into Crimson. Crimson with the Spirit Dragon is a Trishilla. Are we playing Trishilla? That's a Trishilla. You what, mate? And mind you, on the top card official win rates, Konami has shown us that Trishilla is an 81% win rate on summon. And it's probably because of the very few Blue Eyes players that are playing Trishilla. And you're about to find out why. Let's go. Crimson Dragon onto the Spirit Dragon. That's a huge Trishilla. On summon, get banishing. We're going to banish a card from the field, the grave, and the hand. Now, there's nothing in the grave, but that's okay. We are still going to be banishing away the Piercer, banishing away the Emblema Oath, and it is all non-target banish. Now we're going to go into the Ultimate Spirit Dragon after banishing them up. Wake up Centurion, send from the deck to the grave our Phalanx, as we now have our stand-up Centurion on the activation of the discard to put a Centurion into the back row. That is when we choose to negate. Just like that. Was Trishilla needed to win? If not, that is what many people call win more. I don't think Trishilla was needed to win, but it was still great to see. Very good. Well done, Terramare. Thank you for showcasing the Trishilla. I hope to see more of it in the top 4. Let's go. Begin. Strauss on summon. Imperm negate. Not fingerable, mate. Now, if I'm seeing a lot of hero players playing Dark Ruler No More, they probably are also filled to the brim, possibly with Triple Tactics talent, or at least choosing to play some of them Triple Tactics talent over Dark Ruler No More. So using Imperm over Valor could be for that very good reason there. We have Ash negating the initial activation of Load, which would have searched for a barrel to then set a Drill Beam. Normal summoning that Valor into the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. I choose you. This will turn on our Ultimate Fusion and our Majesty, making them forms of disruption. Now, this could be a good time to finger that Blue Eyes White Dragon, and with no other Blue Eyes in hand, we'd be in big trouble. So we're going to chain Ultimate Fusion to dodge that Called by the Grave. Now, this will not result in an on-field target pop, and we still lose our Blue Eyes White Dragon until we Lordy Load summon from the deck here. Let's. Amazing reason. If you're a Blue Eyes player and you got Valor or Imperm, you Imperm first to play around Triple Tactics, play around Called By, and then reset it on the field with Tyrant. It would feel so bad if you just had a Valor engraved, and then Valor also helped enable a play. You could turn it into a Link 1. We have Lordy Load main phase 2 summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon. If you were to do this early, the Tyrant could not trigger on field to grab back the Impermanence. Recycled Imperm, a pop with the Majesty, and an Ash. We have triple disruption. Elemental Hero Sunrise is here through our Miracle Fusion on the attack. Let's wipe that fool out. With 2 other forms of disruption, Heroes is spent. They have nothing left. At 6,400 life, we have exactly lethal damage. Don't do that. Why not, I guess? Maybe they could have something. I don't know. Lethal damage! Does one of the Karibos do something in the battle phase, that level 6 Karibo? Does it? Does it stop damage from the hand? I don't know. I'd have to read it. You go first. Again, we have Valor. We have Imperm. Hero lives into the Stratos. Well, it worked game 1. It should work again, right? Imperm over Valor. Let's go. And it did. Breeze is like, bro, I have Called By. What the heck? Tribute summon for the Ferris. That is a play as we negate. Then negate the negate. Finger the Valor. Be gone. What is this? DPE can non-target pop a card in the field. If we pop the absolute 0, it will then follow up, wipe the entire opposing field of monsters, non-target destruction. We then have Favorite Contact, which will destroy 1, 2, 3 cards on the field non-targeting. We then have Ash Blossom, negate an interaction with the deck. Quadra Disruption. How many plays do we have? We have 2. We have Load and Sage as our 2 main plays. Roar could kind of summon a Blue Eyes in the deck, but it's not a full combo on its own. Oh boy. Terramare drawing a Maxi for the turn, by the way. Wow. Master Roll 6 could not come sooner where we would just have that in our opening hand. Lordy load it up as we're going to not even DPE pop it. We're going to save the DPE pop for a bigger absolute 0 play. Negate. As we're now going to Sage on Summon, search our deck for... Now you're forcing me to read this thing. Are you kidding me? The opponent does something. You could tribute this card and destroy that monster. What? I didn't know you were a disruption? Huh? Okay. Tribute this card, destroy that one monster. If you do, inflict damage equal to its original attack 0. Grab a Maiden. It, of course, was not a negate, just a destroy, stopping the Spirit Link going into the Mausoleum, disallowing additional normal summoning, which the True Light through a Wishes would have grabbed another Sage, but the True Light is also gone. Wipe the field of no monsters as we Roar, summon from the deck, and now we're going to use Favorite Contact as the Max C desperately, pitifully draws a single card off of this summon as we wipe away the load from summoning another Blue Eyes alongside the Blue Eyes we're summoning onto the field. We have an Ash Blossom, which will help us none whatsoever. No help. It is gone. Wipe it all. At least the Maiden does survive. Interestingly enough, say goodbye to the load and the Blue Eyes. The lone Maiden on the field going into our Spirit with Eyes of Blue, searching our deck for the Mausoleum as we're now going to tribute off the Spirit, go into the Blue Eyes. Do we have a Wishes in grave? We do not have a way to turn this into a Tyrant Dragon or recycle our True Light, unfortunately, giving a pathetic boost onto Blue Eyes White Dragon. Had we been able to go into a Tyrant, we could have maybe kind of done something. The DPE is kind of keeping the True Light in check anyway. Even if you destroy it by battle, it just comes back. Let's hop into game 3. Heroes has been good, and I think we are downplaying, or at least I am, downplaying how good the deck is by saying it just goes into Dark Law to beat Blue Eyes. That's clearly not the case. But to be fair, I did mention in addition to Dark Law that the DPE, the Favorite Contact, and even Stratos being able to pop True Light is big. Your deck is inherently popping back row, you'll have a good time against Blue Eyes. How many decks can really say that, though? We have Load searching for Barrel, Barrel setting up the Drill Beam. We are ready to negate and banish anything. It could be a spell activation, trap, monster, it does not matter. As long as we negate it or are able to negate it, you could target it, so that means a normal monster would not be usable. And with the dominance of Blue Eyes, you know what's really missing from the tournament or in general from the meta? Fiendsmith. Fiendsmith has fallen off big time. We are desperately needing that Lacrima. Please, Konami, give her to me. Now, what do we have here? We have Hieratic Seal. Let's let them draw first. Spin back a monster, negate a monster on the field, negate and banish literally anything that's face up or on activation, that is. We then have a Veiler, negate a monster in the field. We have Ash Blossom, negate an interaction with the deck. 5 forms of disruption. Hero lives, Stratos. We could search for anything to then send with Ferris. We got plays. We have at least 3 good plays here against 5 disruption. So if 5 is bigger than 3, negate. The hero lives. Ferris, discard the Mist. We're going to at least be able to chain link block it from a negate that would have to be chained directly to its activation, which would be an Apollo, which doesn't even exist here. Searching for a Wing Kariba level 6. Ain't no way that's worth searching, right? I don't even care to look at it. We're going to be dodging the negates of the Impermanence Mate, targeting the Stratos. Now, the Drill Beam will negate and banish the increase from summoning and then summoning a Vine from the deck, but the Stratos search still goes through. Stratos is good, successfully dodged. We do still have Valor and Hieratic Seal. Boy, what happened? Wait. We did not search. We were popping back row. I thought we were searching. Oh my Jesus. So we popped the Lordy Load instead of going for a search. Okay. Do we Valor negate? Now, Valor negates 2 effects here. On summon, we search, and then we contribute this card to then summon and search. Both effects dead. Negate, as we just have Hieratic Seal left. On resolution, even though you couldn't tribute, it looks like we were afraid that you could. Getting a barrel into the graveyard when they already have a barrel, not a big deal. Were we afraid of a Link summon maybe? More so, that was the issue here. What, an Anaconda we could deal with. This activates on summon to target a Destiny Hero in the graveyard, which there was no Destiny Hero in the graveyard anyway. I'm trying to make sense of that early spin. I just don't think we had to do that. Barrel engraved, not the newly summoned one, but the other one if we wanted to. Adding back to the hand as we set from the deck a Lordy Load, searching up the deck for a Drill Beam. Can the Wing Karibo save this duel from the hand? We're going to find out without me reading it. Wishes. Say goodbye to Blue Eyes. Add from the deck our Roar and Maiden. Let's speed this up. Let's Maiden activate into the back row. True Light, Roar, summon from the grave. Blue Eyes White Dragon is here. 4,000 life, not much left. Maiden is going to trigger, reborning itself. Wishes will be activating to equip onto the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Come forth and summon into a Tire Dragon. To battle phase we go. 5,300. Wing Karibo, do something! Karibo negates damage. All the Karibos do that, right? Something about negating damage. You really don't do anything about negating damage in the damage step? Nothing? Useless. Begin. Vine on summon, send from the deck a Shadow Mist, triggering to search our deck for our Liquid Soldier. We gotta calm down after this. I don't think we can afford any more special summoning. That's fine. Be happy. We drew Maxi. That's what we wanted. We have Ash. We have Favorite Contact, pop multiple cards, and 2 Disruption plus a Maxi. Sure. We were under Maxi ourselves. Barrel on summon, setting up that Lordy Load. We're now going to Maxi preemptively. Ash negate the 1, still 2 Disruption. We have Poppage and the Ash. Lordy Load on activation, searching for that Drill Beam. It's not activatable yet. Spirit with Eyes of Blue. I choose you, grabbing a Mausoleum from the deck to additionally normal summon our in-hand Sage. We're going to send a Blue Eyes from the deck to the grave, additional summon the Sage. On summon, searching for our Maiden to give us access to True Light. Let's summon our Blue Eyes to officially turn on the Drill Beam. Drill Beam is now on. We can now target, banish, negate anything on the field, mate. We have Wishes, discard Wishes, Ash, which the Call by the Grave will finger that Ash, negate. And then Drill Beam, negate the Favorite Contact. Yeah, okay. Let's hop into game number 2. The Drill Beam was also public knowledge, right? Yeah, we know it's there. We know their exact plays. We know they directed counter our only 2 forms of disruption. It was good that we used our Ash before fingering their Ash, not finger ourselves. Let's hop into game 2. Ooh, a freaking loss, mates. Ooh, a loss, change the hero lives. We have no Ash Blossom, ain't no way. Only the summons from the deck or extra deck will result in a draw here. As we saw within today's event, Blue Eyes was able to masterfully play around a resolved Fua loss, continually summoning from the graveyard, even if it included Barrel sending a Blue Eyes from the deck to the grave before activating a Roar. As we go into the Hero Sunrise, further committing under the Fua loss draws. Chain Link blocking the Liquid Soldier to ensure we grab a Miracle Fusion, not through randomly drawing it from the Liquid Soldier, as we could draw 2, discard the Maxi, end our turn, And from there, what did we accomplish? We have a Max C of our own, but with multiple ways to stop it, unfortunately. We also have Mash Change, which could go into a Dark Law, ensuring that every card sent to the grave is banished instead. We also have Ash. So double Disruption plus Max C. What are we doing? Let's see. Ash negate, and then the Call by the Grave is going to finger the Ash. So we make sure to use our own Ash before potentially fingering the opposing player's Ash. Double Disrupt, Lordy Load. Let's Mass Change. Why on the activation? Well, it's going to result in a draw, a search that is, and then the Dark Law will trigger to randomly banish one of 6 cards in their hand. YOLO banish the Drill Beam, yes? Or we could just Drill Beam negate. Right now, mate. Yup, that's exactly what's happening. The hero dream is crumbling before our eyes. Negate and banish the Macrocosmos. You also do not randomly banish a card from our hand, as the Mist searches for a Vian, and what we're left with is just an Ash Blossom, or the best use of Ash on a Wishes in most cases. But the dreaded finger is whipped out as the JG does not even play it out. Scooping to the finger before it even fingers his Ash, he is out. We have a barrel opener, which is all we need for our good plays. Begin. We don't have a bridge into our Blue Eyes engine, unfortunately, but with just Primite, this should be enough, especially against no disruption. We have the Drill Beam. Let's link this off into the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Come to me, Mausoleum from the deck. As we now Lordy Load, summon from the deck our Blue Eyes White Dragon. Let's not forget to turn this into a Hieratic Seal. With our Hieratic Seal, we're going to use the Roar to summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the graveyard, which now turns on our Drill Beam. With our Drill Beam turned on, what do we have here? We have Drill Beam plus Hieratic Seal for double form of disruption, spin back a card, plus negate and banish anything. We have Ogre, which is incredible for the matchup against Blue Eyes. Almost everyone should be playing this with the amount of Blue Eyes that's on the ladder and doing well in tournaments. We also have Ash Blossom, negate an interaction with the deck, Maxi, draw per special summon. This is going to be a big one. 4, disrupt the playthrough. And what's worse is the Drill Beam will forever be recycling every single turn. Because we got to set up first, we now can essentially negate the load by returning it back to the hand. You cannot reactivate it. No search for you, and you couldn't even cross out Designate because it's an extra deck monster. Let's follow up with the Wishes, Ash negate, but we do have cross out Designate, negate the Ash, but we're far from the clear. We have Drill Beam. Drill Beam will negate and banish the Wishes from the field. You now don't have the engrave effect of the Wishes to turn a Blue Eyes into a Tyrant Dragon, plus giving you targeting protection. We still have Ogre and Max C. Ogres are one form of disruption. Maiden setting up the True Light, activate the Max C. We are ready and waiting for that True Light destruction with the Ogre. The Spirit with Eyes grabbing the Mausoleum. Mausoleum getting ready to send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck to the grave. As we go to the battle phase, it's like we feel it. We can smell it. We know that Ogre is there. Oh, we're activating it anyway. And just like that, Ogre, destroy, MST, negate the True Light, mate. True Light, wipe away our fields. Now back to Terra Mare, and don't forget that Drill Beam and Barrel is forever recycling. We just need the Primite on the field, then the Drill Beam and Grave can reset, negate and banish whatever you top off of your deck, or it can be used onto that Roar. And we do reveal that we have more than one Drill Beam. I think that's a big thing to be looking at today. I would say more than one Drill Beam is great for the mirror match, great against stun decks, and probably against every other deck, it may not be the best choice. It does lead to bricking. Off the top of the deck, a much needed card, but we know they have Drill Beam. We can't use Wishes. Infinitely recycling. White Lightning for game. To game 2 we go. We've seen a duel today where they had 2 Drill Beam and it was just no good, and then the opposing player also had a dead single Drill Beam. Sage on summon, grabbing an effect Veiler here. We have the Spirit with Eyes of Blue. I choose you to be searching for the Mausoleum. We know that they're going to have access to the wishes, so Purge will be used on wishes. Now, if we know that they may be saving an Asher Purge for the wishes, maybe we just don't set wishes. We just play around it and go for straight to a Majesty. Reborn the Maiden, come forth in a Spirit Dragon. By setting up the Spirit Dragon before activating the True Light, it plays around an Ogre, pop in the True Light to then wipe the field because the Spirit Dragon can negate the True Light from wiping your field. I know it's an old play, old recommendation, but it's more so relevant now than ever. We still go for that Wishes despite not seeing any Asher Purge for every other play we made. Purge is going to negate. Set that Drill Beam, mate. Drill Beam not activatable until we summon a Blue Eyes onto the field. If you try to finger the Blue Eyes, we could chain the Spirit to go into an Ultimate Spirit to stop your Call by the Grave from banishing. So that's not even an out to this play. We have the ability to negate, 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 and negate, quadra negate. Let's go, mate. And if you negate the activation of a Wishes, you cannot activate another copy, unlike a Branded Fusion. I could explain that if you want me to. Sage on summon, Drill Beam, negate and banish your normal summon, mate. Not today. Now, if we have Called By here, we could then, of course, use it. There it is, our Ultimate Spirit backed up by our double Veiler. Be Gone Sage, Wishes with Eyes of Blue, a perfect time to use you, Ultimate Spirit, negate. I think we maybe wish that we would have used Wishes before Ultimate Spirit hit the field, possibly. Got True Light on the field against double Veiler. We are reborning that Blue Eyes. We're not setting anything from the deck here, because what? We'd grab a Roar to then summon a Blue Eyes. The True Light is already giving us access to that Blue Eyes. Let's make a Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Veiler, negate. You will, mate. Think about if True Light directly set Majesty instead of going for the Wishes and then playing to a Purge. We could have been clapping this duel up even more, popping away the True Light before the Tyrant Dragon could have even been summoned, wiping away this potential play. We're going to recycle the Purge, take out the Maiden, not big enough to swing into the Ultimate Spirit. Hieratic Seal within main phase 2. I am impressed that Terramare could still end on Disruption after how much Whitey Sniper had. This was great. Well done. We have Hieratic Seal. We have Purge. Double Disruption. Is it enough? We have no Trap in the Graveyard to make the Purge better, unfortunately. Mind you, this Spirit Dragon cannot summon a monster from the action deck, but it can negate the Hieratic Seal, activating Engrave to summon from the deck if it's still on the field. Lordy load for the potential Purge. What? Baron to floor out of nowhere. What the? If I knew that was coming, maybe I would have Hieratic Sealed. Are you kidding me? Baron to floor, wiping away the Purge. What the heck just happened? I can't even spin that back now because you have a Baron to floor and you additionally summon the Veiler, so you have your regular normal summon on the barrel because Mausoleum does not allow that to be additionally summoned. And since we have a barrel in the field, we can recycle the Drill Beam back. Holy moly, it's more than done. I would say most Blue Eyes players in the event today are not playing Blue Eyes. That was our trick card up our sleeve out of nowhere. No way. I'm ready to eat my words if I'm wrong. There's no way the majority are playing Baron to floor. Negate the Hieratic Seal. You will not be spinning back, mate. But we can summon from the deck still a barrel. We're going to Mausoleum, chain the Maiden directly to the Mausoleum, reborn from in graveyard our Sage. Send from the deck our Blue Eyes, further turning this into a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Big enough thanks to the Mausoleum to take out the barrel at 0 defense. 3k to the face. We already used up our negates. As we now, Little Knights, banish on summon. Say goodbye to that True Light. Now, it can be... Ooh, the Baron to floor already used up its negate. But if we banish it, then bring it back, the negate is back on mate. True Light setting up into the back row, the Majesty. And we have a Wishes for our opening play as soon as our turn starts, but then the Baron de Floor will negate the Wishes unless we use the Majesty first. Let's Lordy load, summon the Blue Eyes White Dragon back onto the field. This is almost considered an old school combo to Little Knight banish your own Baron de Floor. Let's Barrel Engrave, recycle back to the hand. They have a negate, a banish, a negate and banish, a pop multiple cards in the field. There's too much. banish away the barrel. On activation, still setting up the Lordy Load into the back row. Lordy Load is going to get wiped out by the Majesty, and the Majesty will also non-target wipe out the opposing Majesty. So we're going to Drill Beam, negate, and banish the opposing Majesty because you're not forcing out my Baron to floor. I'm saving it for your wishes. I'm just going to check. Does Terramare play Baron to floor? There's no way. Nope. We have Trishilla versus Baron. Those are the main differences. Wishes activate because why not, mate? We may as well just activate everything we can before we scoop it up, but you're not allowed to scoop it up. You have to allow the opponent to White Lightning you for game. Barrel come back during the end phase. To battle we go correctly, not swinging with Blue Eyes first. We have White Lightning in the grand finale. 1-1. Ooh, we got plays. We got 2 big plays. Barrel gets disrupted, clapped up. Doesn't matter. We could Spirit Link, additional summon the Sage. Ooh, boy. And Sniper has nothing. Nothing. Brick, because it's more than 1 copy. Holy shoot. At least we don't have a way at the moment to negate the wishes unless we can make an ultimate spirit. Begin. We have Valor negate a monster, non-target pop a card on the field that's face up, and then non-target pop multiple cards on the field that are face up or face down. We have Drill Beam to also negate and banish. We also have Spirit Dragon, which can negate anything through the Ultimate Dragon. We also have a Cipher Divine, which can negate a monster and then destroy a card in the field. 7 disruption, up to 9 if you count the Spirit Dragons negating the graveyard. This is one of the highest ceilings of disruptions of a turn 1 Blue Eyes play I've ever seen throughout the entire event today, even in the other events. Let's go. There's no way. Terramare just had his best turn 1 ever, and you now draw Nibiru. You draw Nibiru for the turn after this field. We're going to Majesty wipe out the load as I suspected. Wishes is going to be discarding the dead Nibiru, and this is where Terramare's like, bro, why didn't you use Nibiru on me? Are you good? Drill Beam, negate and banish the wishes. 5 forms of disrupt left. We are going to summon our Blue Eyes White Dragon here with no Maiden in grave. Where the Maiden at? He's maidenless. As we summon our Crimson Terramare, you're not Trishilling in the grand finale. Yes, he is. Trishilla is here. If you banish the Blue Eyes in the hand and on the field, that is going to be all the Blue Eyes White Dragons. Goodbye, Blue Eyes. Goodbye, Roar. And goodbye, the final copy of Blue Eyes with 0 ways to get access to those Blue Eyes back. Roar is how you get access to your banished Blue Eyes. 100% of YD Sniper's Blue Eyes have been banished from the game with no way to get them back. And just like that, Terramare, White Lightning for game. Trishilla has defeated Baron to floor. Trish Blue Eyes versus Baron Blue Eyes. Holy moly, let's go. Let's check this out. Meta Weekly is here, and holy moly, Blue Eyes White Dragon dominating, getting into the top 16. It could not win the tournament last week, but then it won it all. Let's see. Snake Eye Fiendsmith Khan is, out with the new, in with the old. We are sticking to Snake Eye. Good job, Khan. Very well done. And if less people are playing Fool Lost, then I would think that this is potentially a good deck to maybe be playing over Blue Eyes for that very reason, because Fool Lost was one of the main ways to keep a deck like this in check. We then have Fiendsmith Control, Summon Skull. Good job, Morisaki. Very happy to see this. Well done to you. I'm excited to play this. We have the Wave King Caesar, thanks to Summon Skull. And then we have Snake Eye Fire King, Fictinium. We got the triple impulse instead of the Fiendsmith engine. And despite taking Fiendsmith out of the deck, we still play over 40 cards. 44 in the main deck. Here is the extra deck. We then have Memento, Recape. I think Memento is in such a good spot. It's in the sweet spot. It's in the spot where it's never going to get hit by the ban list, and it's always going to be good. I've said something like that about a deck. I think Voiceless Voice is in a sweet spot, never going to get hit, always going to be good. Ritual Beast, I think, is also in that spot. It's a great spot to be in if you're a fan of the deck. Huge fan of Memento. What else we have? Infernoble Knight, FM Productions. Holy moly, super thick 60-card deck here. There is the extra deck. Well done, good job, FM. And then we have Centurion, Peated Rocks. Here's the extra deck. Here is the main deck. Sometimes a rogue deck could sneak up on the tier list within tier 3. And it could be for the very reason that we're not separating every different version of that deck. So we could have pure Centurion topping a random event, and then super heavy Samurai Centurion topping an event, but then both of those different decks in a way contributing to a single deck type. I think as long as it's pretty much just at tier 3, that's okay to do. When a deck type with multiple true different variations of the deck are at tier 2 or higher, I think that's when it's a good time to consider just splitting up the deck type to better reflect the deck strength in the tier list, because there's a lot of visitors that pass and go on tier 3, and that's completely okay. And as with that said, you have Snake Eye Fiendsmith and Snake Eye Fire King, which are relevant top tier decks. We do not have them combined. We properly separate them. And also it helps cards like this get noticed more. When you want to play Centurion, go to the Centurion pure deck type, scroll on the ways to play Centurion, and then you can see, oh wow, a super heavy Samurai way, a Bestial way. Just giving my reasoning out loud for why I'm not splitting them. And we have JG with Heroes. This is the way, 40 cards clean. It was kind of recent where Malicious got completely unbanned, and also Fusion Destiny. Good job, JG. We do have access to Anaconda, where TCG and OCG do not. Remember, well, I will admit it, I was a part of this. Maybe I was overplaying a little bit, just to have fun, but Anaconda's got to get banned if Dragoon's coming out, and now we completely, wait, Dragoon's in the game? Yeah, no one cares. Tabriz, 45 cards here instead of 40. Good job, Tabriz. There is the extra deck and the main deck. And let's now skim through the Blue Eyes decks. I think a better way to look at it will be on the top decks page, possibly. We do last 7 days, tournaments, Meta Weekly, Blue Eyes. Here we go. So here are all the Blue Eyes decks here. And for highlighting engines, if you feel like a top deck, a popular deck is playing something that's not being properly highlighted in the engine tab, let me know. I pretty much am just custom adding these whenever. And I usually also sometimes will add a single card like Purge to further highlight that. But to see out of these 8 decks, only 2 are not playing Purge at all. 1 is playing with Kashtira. So we have the 40-card Kashtira deck here. Good job, like. Anything out of the ordinary beyond the Kashtira. Ultimate Fusion being a disruption with Blue Eyes in the field, giving further, easier access to your Tyrant Dragon, recycling your traps in grave. I think seeing Ultimate Fusion being played more is due to the fact that people are respecting the grind game more. Grinding is becoming more important, and I think that is overall healthier for Yu-Gi-Oh!, where the game isn't so heavily focused within the first 2 turns. Now, it would be great if we bring every other deck up to the level of being able to grind with Blue Eyes, because pretty much Blue Eyes is the only one able to viably grind at a top tier level. And then we have YD Sniper. Not playing Purge. No Purge in the main deck here. So I'm looking at the outliers here. And I also want to be looking at the Drill Beam. So we have 1 Drill Beam, 1 Drill Beam. We then have Sayadim. Sayadim is on double Drill Beam, still playing 40 cards. Anything out of the ordinary beyond that, nothing too crazy. Actually, there's no Called By or Crossout. Why would you not play Called By or Crossout? Possibly because you just want to grind. If you want to get grinding and turn 1 and 2 is not that important where you have to negate a hand trap where you lose, just grind it out. Okay, you hand trapped me, fine. I have 3-4 other non-engine plus a drill beam setup, that's fine. I don't need to finger you. And but most will be playing the finger. We have 3 MR, making sure my deck does not block the deck list too much. 1 drill beam, we got 1 triple tactics, main decking, skill drain. We don't have a viable way to consistently add it to the hand besides just randomly drawing it, but it puts in work. It's good. We have Ogre in the deck here. I missed if Ogre was in here, so Ogre in the deck list to help out the mirror match. Nibiru also. If they have access to their Blue Eyes engine, it's not just Primite, then Blue Eyes is great. Unless they're ending on Hermetic Seal to gain access to the Primite, then it becomes less good. Let's see. We have this triple tactics talent 3. Okay. And we have Jet Dragon. I was talking about Jet Dragon. It's it could be a brick, but we don't care. Double drill beam. Again, we don't care. Think about this. Most players are playing 40 cards. This is a 40 card deck plus 3 triple tactics, a Jet Dragon, and a second copy of drill beam. Those are the 5 extra cards we tossed on top of our 40 card deck. And then we have our 44 card deck, another skill drain. I am so sorry if more people are playing skill drain. So 3MR on skill drain, Modar is on skill drain. We are draining the skill. We got Ogre in the main deck. We have, what else we have here? Triple Ogre, 1 Nibiru, 43 cards. Okay. And then we already looked at Likes deck list. We already looked at Sniper, not playing Purge. And then the number 1 deck to win it all, I think the only one on Trishilla, right? No Trishilla, no Trishilla. Could just type in Trish. Trish is here, and it is top tier in Terra Mare's hand. Holy moly, we have Ultimate Fusion in the main deck, double Ghost Ogre. Well done, and we did see the Trishilla action, being able to banish away all copies of Blue Eyes White Dragon. I mean, it was win more. Every time we saw Trishilla, it was not needed. Okay, I'll admit it. I don't care. I'm still a fan. So good job, Trishilla. Nicely done. And there you go. That was the event. Blue Eyes, Dominance, and all these other decks. Very nice. Now, that is the top deck list. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the very next video, plus the next tournament stream on the next twitch.tv/Decade Sunday. We out. Let's go.